Film Slice Crew review Dumbo. Hey team, Angus Dragon here, and welcome to the Film Slice Podcast. I'm here as always with my co-host Kane Diggly Wiggly Kane Dogs.
Thank you.
And Bro Diddly Doo Bro Ben Richards.
Formerly known as
Bro Diddly that.
Now known as John McFlaggan.
Nope.
John
nice
McFlaggan.
try. Zachary
John-
Larson.
Zachary Larson. Yeah, sure. Zach, I do like the name
The
Zach.
main actor from Brody's new favourite movie, Captain Marvel Shazam.
Okay, Zachary Larson. There you go.
Right.
This week we are reviewing Dumbo. Kane Dogs, you want to whip out that IMDb summary
I can
for us?
whip out that IMDb summary.
Should have had it ready. We do it every week.
So, this is Marvel. This is Shazam. Oh no, he's got me. All right.
Jordan's favorite film. He's looking up the summary even before it comes out.
All right.
He's so excited for Captain Marvel.
A young elephant whose oversized ears enable him to fly helps save a struggling circus. But when the circus plans a new venture, Dumbo and his friends discover dark secrets beneath its shiny veneer.
Dun dun dun. Have you guys seen the first?
So I've watched like a
When I was a
17-minute...
kid.
I watched it when I was a kid. I don't remember enjoying it. And then I watched a 17-minute recap, which, as far as I could tell, covered the whole 45-minute movie anyway.
I think
Wasn't
I've
a
got
fan.
I think I've got it merged with another 5 animal.
I thought Jiminy Cricket was in it
from back then,
but he was in Pinocchio.
Yeah. A few people have said Jiminy Cricket was in it.
Because there's a mouse,
There's a
that
mouse,
has more or less the same sort of
Jiminy Cricket-esque.
type
Mousy
deal
qualities.
going on.
Jiminy Mouse.
Jiminy Mouse.
Doesn't have the
Jiminy
same ring.
Mouse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a limb and disagree with this whole IMDb summary for this movie because
Take that, IMDb.
well,
You
it,
idiot.
Grousey Mouse.
it says helps a struggling circus. No, he doesn't. And then it says
It does, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't. And then it says, but when the circus plans a new venture, Dumbo and his friends Dumbo discovers nothing. Dumbo is barely a main character.
Dumbo's living up to his name.
Ooh.
Heyo, got him.
I want to talk about that as well.
We'll get there. When did you see the movie and what did you think?
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit. I saw it on Sunday. I thought it was pretty shot.
Shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't even be bothered putting the effort in to call it shit.
Nah.
It doesn't deserve the effort.
Nah, I was trying to mask out profanity, Jordan, so we wouldn't get the explicit tag on iTunes, but you
Really
just...
fuck that one
Yeah,
up.
you fucking ruined that one, mate. So now the floodgates are fucking open, boys.
Oh, shit. I saw this movie Sunday morning with the GF, and when we came out, I was polite and said that it was okay. I lied. I fucking hated it. It's real bad.
Wowza.
But I'm pretty sure she doesn't listen to this anymore.
Yeah.
So we're good.
It's pretty shitty.
I saw the movie yesterday afternoon/night. No, it was definitely night. It was 6.
that's night.
That's
It's
night.
also
yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah, it is after the noon. And I thought it was fine for what it was.
Which was shit.
Which was a cash grab.
Yeah, which was a crap
Which
movie.
which was a reincarnation of a kids film. Yeah.
That awful.
It wasn't the worst thing I've seen all year. But
It was such
it was
a
no
load
glass.
of shit.
It was
Yeah,
a few
it wasn't-
levels
it wasn't
above glass.
yeah, but
It was next
think it
to
was-
Aquaman.
it's salvageable for little kids that don't appreciate film.
I disagree with that as well. We'll
you're
get
an
into
idiot.
who do we recommend it to?
All right, we'll get into it. But
Yeah.
lads, before we get into that, you know how every week I put up on Instagram what movie we're reviewing, and I ask our Slicey Slices out there, our lovely audience, what they thought of the film, whether they've seen it or not.
But Angus,
Or not, they can record. They can let us know, or if they haven't seen the bloody movie.
what about
Let us-
Twitter?
but what? Nah.
What?
And normally no one replies.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
Yep. Well, guess how many we got this week?
Can I
One.
just say, probably Brody has used his fucking Instagram account to troll me.
We've got one.
Yeah, we go.
From not dot film
you
slice
son
dot
of a
host.
bitch.
And
Probably has something to do with me not liking Shazam or something.
actually, before we do that,
Do we have any real people that wrote in to say anything?
We actually got a message.
Oh.
We got a PM.
It's just someone going, please stop. I don't know how to unsubscribe and your videos keep showing up. So if you could stop making them.
No, this we got a private message on Instagram. You can also do that. You can also private messages if you want.
Was it a bot?
No, it's from
Hey, sexy.
not.filmslice.host.
Oh, God. I honestly thought we had an actual listener
They said,
doing a thing.
They said, if you want to get rid of that Jerry guy, I volunteer to be host. And then on our post, we've got from not.filmslice.host again, get rid of Jerry. 4 exclamation marks.
I'm assuming by Jerry you're meaning to intend that you don't know my name is Jordan. Wow.
Are you talking to me?
Can I...
Yeah.
Listeners, I want to address you directly. Can you please put me out of my fucking misery and write in? Because I'm real sick of Brody's shit.
So, if you're listening, go follow not.filmslice.host on Instagram. Get your friends, get your family, get your worst
baby.
enemies, anyone. Doesn't matter. Make 100 counts, follow not.filmslice.host.
He's trolling me on that as well because he just put a picture up of Shazam, called it Captain Marvel. And then if you look in the cape of Shazam, there's for some reason a cheeky pic of me that he somehow photoshopped in there.
We're already a quarter of the way there. We've got a quarter of Jordan's followers. We just need and that's in 3 weeks.
Oh no.
3 weeks, quarter of Jordan's
That's
followers.
fine. I've only been on Instagram for like 3 years. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, 3 years.
Oh.
So yeah, go follow not.filmslice.host. All it is someone named Rhodey that is just trolling
Roadie
Jordan.
bitches.
So
Yeah, it's quality content.
yeah.
No, it isn't.
More quality than this podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cane Dogs, did you get anyone on Facebook?
Look, I'm not going to check, but no.
Fair enough. And that's what our Slices thought of that week about Dumbo. All right.
This is becoming less of a podcast about reviewing movies and more just a podcast about Brody's Instagram account in which to troll me.
All right, moving on to our next segment. Would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to? Cane Dogs, you said you had a bit of juicy stuff for this segment.
I will only recommend this to people specifically who have high nostalgia for the movie, but also just can't get enough bloody Dumbo. If you're like, God, I love that bloody animated little elephant, and all I want in life is to see another hour and a half of just an animated elephant.
Was it only an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Go for
it was like
I think it was like an hour and 15 minutes.
40 minutes.
hour
Yeah,
50.
I don't know.
112 minutes.
Yeah. But I mean, anything else, if you take your kids, they'll be bored shitless because it's mainly about the slow and like decaying breakdown of this depressing circus in the style of Tim Burton. And maybe there's a bit of a cute CGI elephant who's probably in the entire film for about 15 minutes.
To be fair, it is directed by Tim Burton.
Yeah, I know, but that's what but
Yeah.
Tim Burton's style is so, like, it's very gothic.
Yesterday.
No, it's very
Has
gothic.
Tim Burton made any good films? What?
He did, yeah, no,
Edward
so he
Scissorhands?
did the Michael Keaton Batmans, the first 2, which are great.
Yeah.
And then he did
Edward Scissorhands.
He did Edward Scissorhands. The other big one is
The Nightmare Before-
The Night Before Christmas.
Night Before Christmas,
is
yeah.
a lot of people's favorites.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
The Nightmare Before Christmas is a different movie. It was
Nightmare on Elm
that was my
Christmas.
Christmas.
I feel like he's made 8 films in a row that no one cared about.
that was Alice in Wonderland, like 1, 2 through to 8.
And
Presumably
he made
as well.
like that other one with Johnny Depp, that other one with Johnny Depp, and that other one with Johnny Depp.
He does like Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Oh,
well-
Sweeney Todd? Did he make Sweeney Todd?
No. Oh,
He might have.
maybe he did.
It's got Johnny Depp in it.
Does have Johnny Depp in it?
Yeah, he also made Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's got a lot of stripes in it as well. Yeah, I think he did actually. But I think this movie is so slow and so boring for kids. We had a lot of kids in our cinema, and all of them fucking lost attention within
It's also
15 minutes.
I think his visual style might be a little bit dated now. Just because all of kids' films have moved on to this super bright, happy
Yeah.
colored
I think-
color scheme. Like he's got like whatever, like whoever he works with, he like get the colors and everything.
you
for the
wanted to
film.
put
It's
him with,
pretty
like-
amazing. Because I'm talking Jordan.
I don't care.
So they're like at the beginning they're like in a big like open field like full of like green grass, and it's like a very very beautiful color scheme. And then the rest of the film is just kind of black, gray, and dead.
Yeah.
And it's really like I know it's
all
meant
red
to be
and white
that.
stripes
It's like
and that's
it's
it.
like meant to be that because that's meant to be like this is like a heartless
Industrial.
place.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a kids' film, and so it's just like, oh, this is really visually boring now.
Yeah.
And so, and it's for like probably half of the film. So it's just
More
it's
so.
very weird.
Even more, and
decision.
the second half is weird, like that new Willy Wonka movie where it's just all sort of just
Did Tim Burton do the
uncomfortable to
new-
watch.
Tim Burton
I
might
think
have
he
done,
might have done the-
really
Yeah,
Yeah,
Johnny
Willy
Depp.
Wonka
Had
with
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, so you would
wouldn't
recommend
recommend
it to anyone that likes little elephants, and that's about it.
Only if you specifically like
CGI.
Dumbo and you want
Yeah.
more Dumbo.
Yeah.
Anything else, it's too boring for kids.
Yeah.
And there's not enough. If you're an adult and you like Disney, then this movie doesn't fucking feel like Disney at all.
Yeah.
It's really
Or-
depressing and
This
If
film,
you've got a fetish for ears.
this film
Yeah.
is only for Disney. Disney made this film to make money because they knew people would go see it, and that's it. There are better kids films. There are better Tim Burton films. There are better films about elephants.
there's a better.
There is a better everything than what was in this film.
There's specifically a better Tim Burton film that has Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito in it called Batman.
And so, and like, there's like the performances aren't anything to write home about, you know, the story's not anything to write home about. It's just like the CG's not anything to write home about. It's just like, who the hell was this film for?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Angus,
Yeah.
did you see it? And if you did, would you tell other people to also see it?
Yes.
Good, elaborate.
And yeah, I saw it. I think it's I don't think it is a trip down memory lane for classic Dumbo either, because
No,
like
it's not.
I'm still not quite sure about the synopsis of the original Dumbo, but I'm pretty sure it has
I
nothing
think
to
there's
do
a
with
flying
like.
elephant.
So it's
Yeah,
literally
But I'm pretty sure it like this movie is not like a reincarnation.
no, it's not.
It's Dumbo, but in like it's an alternate universe Dumbo.
It does follow this. So the general idea is that baby elephant gets given to mother elephant by a giant pelican type deal thing, a stork. And then the mother elephant does get taken away to a different circus, and the baby elephant flies around looking for it.
I thought
and
the
he
mum
has-
died in the first one.
No, ends happily with them in a carriage. But the elephant goes on lots of adventures.
Had a really
and by
bad
that,
childhood.
By adventures, I mean the elephant gets extraordinarily drunk for a large
That's right.
point of the
Yeah,
film.
and that's the psychedelic.
And then he gets stuck in a
Colour
tree,
trip.
and in order to figure out how they got stuck in a tree, some crows say, well, you probably flew up here, so you should probably jump. And he does, and he doesn't die. And that's the majority of the film. And
Makes
then at the
sense,
end,
yeah.
he finds his mum, and they're on a train or something.
Well, spoiler alert: there's no crows in this.
Nope, not in this one.
so.
There is a Danny DeVito. He's a bit of a crow. Got him.
Got it. All right.
Take that,
Daddy.
DeVito.
We know you're listening.
We know you're listening.
We know you're out there.
All right, let's move into spoilers. I think we've got a bit to say on the
Yeah.
negative. Let's try and polish up some positives first. Okay, spoiler alarm, go.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
All right, we are in the spoiler section where we dissect and divulge everything about the
Dumbo
film.
dies.
Oh, Jesus. That is incorrect and also very,
Very dark.
very dark.
What Brody meant by that is he's dead to Brody.
Died in his
Brody
heart.
won't see another one of these 20 years from now when everything gets rebooted.
No, that's me telling you what's going to happen.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Let's start off things with a bit of light cinema dickery. Cane dogs. any cinema dickery?
Is that a Harry Potter character? Cinema Dickory.
It's a spell.
Firstly, a Cinema Saint, and then a bunch of Cinema Dicks.
Okay.
Cinema Saint was a family, like a mother, a father, and a little girl went into a cinema.
They just went around and they just stole everyone's phones.
No, but mother was on her phone. Movie started. The girl was like, Mum, get off your phone. And I was like, yes, we're raising a good generation coming up here. But then for the rest of the film, whole party of kids couldn't give a fuck about Dumbo. They lost track of whatever was happening within maybe 15 minutes of the movie. And then they just kicked chairs and ran around the front of the cinema and all sorts for the rest of the film.
How old were these dicks?
They, like, 8, probably. I'd say
Okay.
I'd say between 6 and 8.
Yeah, right.
Probably the
Yeah.
age that you would expect a movie called Dumbo to be aimed at. Because if you're a parent, you
Yeah.
might remember watching Dumbo.
Yeah.
And you would have been about that age. Like, we've probably all seen Dumbo at some point, but we were all definitely at least 6 or younger,
Yeah.
right? So
I'd recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it to 8-year-olds. I would
think you'd
recommend
get
it for
bored-
younger.
I reckon you'd get bored no matter what age. If you're
Yeah.
younger than 8, I think if you're 4, you'd get bored. Because so much of it is just like
you
a
can't
sad...
speak for everyone, mate.
It's not for anyone. As Brody said,
It's
this
not
movie
for
is
anyone.
aimed at no one. But Angus, do you have any cinema dicks?
Any cinema dicks? Nah, not really. Just kids being like,
Yeah.
Aw.
Stupid kids.
Had a couple
Brody,
of chatty Cathys but not too many one-eyed Pete's in my cinema.
So many that they're all so weird. So many people called Kathy in British cinema all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people have to go to the bathroom and walk in front of you, but that's kind of forgivable.
Yeah. Damn
If
you
you're
bodily
gonna-
functions.
If you're gonna go to a movie and it goes for more than 15 minutes, wear a bloody diaper and be respectful. All right.
No, just go beforehand, like a human being.
Oh, I wish I thought of that. Oh, it's been like 2 years. Oh. All right.
See, that's going to be on Jordan's
Look, we've all learned a
next
lesson.
book.
We've all learned
Man
a
up
lesson.
and wear a diaper.
We've all learned a lesson today. Angus,
All right.
take us out of this weird fucking segment, will you?
Sweet. All right, let's talk about the most positive things that we found of the film. Broadman, I'm going to start with you because you're going to...
The color of the
The color grading of the balloon.
the color of the train. No, I did like the colors at the scene in the beginning where like they're in that huge open green field.
Mm-hmm.
That felt it was very, very pretty. It was and it was also very warm and inviting. And they did a good job at making that circus feel like a homely place.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I thought that was pretty good.
Cane Dogs, most positive thing about the film.
Look, I was pleasantly surprised to see Danny DeVito back in some films again. I wasn't too big of a fan I didn't expect to be looking forward to see Danny DeVito. When I heard Michael Caine was going to be... Not Michael Caine. When I heard Michael Keaton was going to be in this movie, I was pretty excited to see him. And then I do like Colin Farrell in some of the stuff he's done, but Danny DeVito was I say standout. He was the best part of the film that I could find.
Hey assholes, it's Dumbo.
Yeah, he voiced Dumbo. No, just seeing Danny DeVito be like...
He also did all the motion capture.
Yeah, just seeing...
The behind the scenes is hilarious.
It's all prosthetics. It's just... it's him painted grey. No,
I'd pay to watch that.
seeing Danny DeVito just be a bit of a sleaze and a bit of like, a carny that tries to rip people off and is always making deals is actually really enjoyable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a non-Disney, non-Dumbo related film starring Danny DeVito just as a bit of a sleaze.
But he's like just doing like a toned down version of his character from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I haven't seen a lot of that though.
Okay.
So...
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is one of the best shows on TV. And they're in their like 15th season, they're still going strong.
Yeah.
The writers behind that show. Jordan, you would love that show.
Yeah, I just liked watching him negotiate where it's like, you will buy it back for full price. I'll buy it back for a quarter price. Half price. It was great, yeah.
Yeah. My most positive thing about the film probably wasn't like about the film, but it was just the expression on the little girl behind me when Dumbo first flew. She was actually like really excited to see it. And even though this film is very kind of black and white, like bad people are really bad people, good people are good people. There's no like in
If
between.
you're beautiful, then you're a good person.
If you're beautiful,
not
then you're good.
beautiful, then you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Unless
All
you're
that
missing
kind of
an
stuff.
arm or you have some big ears, in which case
I mean,
you're still a
Colin
good
Farrell is
person.
so beautiful.
Mate, not with that arm. Jeez.
But just the way that the film was able to, create that emotion for, I guess, the little kids was good.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
think...
something that like we as people that go to cinema a lot, can't really enjoy that kind of
that
magical
magic anymore.
thing
'Cause we
because
know, we've seen behind the curtain of it all.
we've seen a lot. But like
We've seen some shit,
yeah,
man.
for a kid being like, oh, this is the first time I'm seeing an elephant fly. That's fucking awesome.
And I do agree. It's just I wanted the film to keep that
Yeah.
momentum.
Yeah.
To keep with the elephant, to keep with the magic, to veer away a little more from how much money does the circus have and how are we going to feed all of the people here and where's everybody going to sleep? Like, as a kid...
And it's actually
which
about
this
the
film
kid
should have been
and-
aimed for. It shouldn't have had anything to do with any of that crap.
Yeah.
Kids don't need to think about that shit.
All right,
Just
do you
give me a
want
flying elephant.
to swing us on into negatives? Seeing as you just shat all over my positive.
No, I agree. I think that what you were saying, the film did really well for the first probably third of the film. It lost the kids' attention when it veered away from that. I'm just gonna go with my biggest negative because we've hinted at a lot.
Drop
My
the
biggest
big load.
negative is all of Tim Burton's films usually star Johnny Depp being very Johnny Depp-ish. And I can't help but feel Michael Keaton's role was definitely written for Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And they just cast Michael Keaton
thought
because Johnny Depp was probably busy or something.
I thought he was the elephant.
And as a result, Michael Keaton was real shit. He was really.
All the performances weren't great.
Yeah, but Michael Keaton was so left of field to anything he's ever done, and so exactly what Johnny Depp would usually do. He was really floppish and foppish, and he kept doing these weird side looks and saying these weird one-liners that only someone with the seediness of Johnny Depp's eyeshadow could really get away with. And it was just...
Because Johnny Depp surgically has eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Johnny
Depp's been great in the past 8 Tim Burton films that everyone loved.
No, the point is that Johnny Depp hasn't necessarily been great, but he plays characters that are very specifically written to him.
Yeah.
And I can't help but feel this character that Michael Keaton played, who was like... He was basically the Willy Wonka of another circus, and he was really sort of outlandish and very, very extravagant and
Big
loud.
and extravagant, but dark.
Had a bit of a god complex, and none of that screams, oh yeah, cast Michael Keaton. A lot of that coming from Tim Burton, you can't help but be like, that was definitely meant to be Johnny Depp. And he had this weird wig that looked horrible, and it was meant to be a wig, but it still just looked horrible, and everything he did was really cringeworthy for me, because Michael Keaton is an incredible actor, and it'd be really difficult to write something that Michael Keaton can't make sound good. But they did it, and it was bad. And that's my biggest negative.
That's a big one. That's a bloody big one. Broadman.
I think my biggest negative is this feels like a film that was made in like the 40s or the 60s.
Yeah.
Just in each kind of part of it, in like the daughter's like really interested in science and like and it just like really doesn't make sense because she grew up in a carnival.
Yeah.
And so she just keeps making these references to science and
science also isn't that.
It's kind of like it's a film like the audience has no one to connect to except for Colin Farrell. And Colin Farrell is a war veteran who's missing an arm. So he's also difficult to connect to, right?
Sometimes
you don't connect to the daughter because she's some weird... She just like references science the entire time, and she's 6 years old and thinks that she's smarter than everyone else. You don't connect with the boy because he's barely on screen. You don't connect with the elephant unless you're Jordan. And then you don't connect...
Me and that elephant... I got a tattoo on my ass with that elephant.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. And you don't connect with Michael Keaton or... whatever her name is, who did the trapeze artist.
Eva Green.
Eva Green. There's none of these characters are characters that you connect with. Like in Danny DeVito, like none of them are connectable, like whatsoever. And then on top of that, none of them were performed great. And they're all good actors. Every single one of the actors in this film are great actors, but the performances for all of them wasn't great.
Yeah.
So it's like that makes me think that like
It's
Tim
just
Burton
paycheck
has
job.
just lost whatever kind of sense he had for good direction.
Yeah, either that or
I think he's just all
Disney had a
he's just entirely visual and he's basically an artist, and maybe he should have been a cinematographer rather than a director, been in charge
or set design or something.
Yeah,
costume
something like
design
that.
or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's because like if he can't direct the actors to get like good performances, but all of his films look very pretty, does he use the same cinematographer each of these films? I'm curious.
I think that's why he uses the
Probably,
same
yeah.
actors.
And so it just turned out to be this like 1940s, 1960s, just standard like run-of-the-mill story where if a character looks bad, then they're bad. And it's like, if a character has like a pointy nose, then they're bad. And if they're a beautiful like model, then they're good. And I was just like, it felt very weird for like a 2019 film to have that exact, like when we're watching movies as kids, we're watching like, you know, like any like B grade film like The Phantom or whatever. And it
Fucking
feels
love The
like
Phantom.
one of those films. And you're just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
It felt so out of its time.
Yeah. Angus, your biggest negative.
My biggest negative. Well, I mean, you guys have pretty much polished off
it's
the,
probably
the
your
whole
eyes.
film.
I'd say that's your biggest negative.
Hey.
But you've got a lot going for your personality. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Biggest negative is probably your looks.
Yeah.
But
I think
No,
his
well,
biggest negative is his friendship with me.
yeah. Oh. I feel unscathed for the first time ever. Angus, your biggest negative.
My biggest negative of the film, I mean, you guys have touched on like kind of a lot of the broad brushstrokes. There was a lot in here that I kind of noticed just out of the side. Like there's plenty of shots of like the audience watching the show go out in the tent, and the audience don't look like they're paying attention.
They don't look like they care. They look exactly like the audience in the movie.
There's one point, and it's not where Dumbo's flying or anything. So it's not like the wind's coming. I think they just like clap or something. And one lady right in the center of the screen knocks her hat off, picks it up, and then laughs to her friend and like, I'm a fucking idiot. I did this on film, and they kept it in. Like, just little things like that. I'm like, that and Dumbo's eyes were fucking creepy.
Yeah, they were real weird, right?
Every time I looked at it, I'm like, it's not right because they're not elephant eyes.
Yeah, no,
They're
like
human eyes.
they're like the cartoon eyes. They just
not.
like kept them.
They're like just pupil.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's real weird.
I did want to talk about
Dumbo's
Dumbo.
head is just not shaped right.
Oh, hence the ears.
Here's the thing. Most people are going to walk out of this being like, Dumbo is so cute. If most people think Dumbo is cute, then this movie doesn't make sense. Because the whole beginning of this movie is the fact that Danny DeVito wanted a baby elephant so people could go and look at the cute baby elephant.
Yeah.
Comes out, has slightly bigger ears, and is like, what is this monster?
That was probably
Put it down.
Yeah. It's
and
so
then the rest
weird.
of it goes from there. But
that was my first
every single
negative,
person is
actually.
like, actually, that elephant looks... I mean,
Yeah.
if I showed you a picture of a kitten, and the kitten had really large ears, that'd be fucking adorable. There's a part at the end where the control system of the big Wonderland type Michael Keaton's big circus, the control panel that runs everything starts malfunctioning, and he just starts hitting it with the cane frantically.
Yeah.
And that was the weirdest. Seeing Michael Caine just frantically hit Michael.
I am Michael Caine.
Michael
Fuck you,
Keaton.
Dumbo.
I'm Michael Caine. I've buried enough members of the Wayne family.
I've buried enough elephants.
I've buried enough members of
Elephants.
the
I've buried enough elephants. Seeing Michael Keaton just frantically hit a control panel as if he was an old man that doesn't understand things.
Yeah.
Do we have any more negatives before I go on? Because
No, please do.
right, okay. I'll just give one more.
Yeah.
The plan that Colin Farrell has at the end is so impossibly elaborate that it is insane. To break the mother out, to free the mother, it required him to know so many things he could never have known.
Yeah, he didn't know.
And also he's like, all right, 4 hours from now, we're going to break the mother out. And then what we didn't see was him being like, now you four need to make really elaborate wolf costumes. There's
You make an
probably...
alligator costume. Can I do something? Make a bear costume.
What we're going to do is...
I'm guessing
Let's
there's
get
a
as
bear
many
in there.
people in this
Now,
as
here's the
possible,
plan. Firstly, mermaid lady, who's presumably just a woman. You're going to walk...
That's a great
I like how
assumption.
Jordan's not sure. that she had such an excellent performance that Jordan's questioning whether she was a real mermaid or not.
It's possible.
He's
right?
like,
Anything-
who's presumably just a woman.
We don't know, Brody. We don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, cool. Anything else? I think we've pretty much shat on this
smashed it.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think, much like the Marvel films, Marvel, when they made the superhero films, they went, all right, we'll do Captain America and Iron Man and throw in the Hulk, because a lot of people know those. And then down the track...
That's what Disney's doing. Disney's like, okay, we're going to make Cinderella.
No,
We're going to make Beauty and the Beast. We're going to make Dumbo. Then we're going to put a film together. We're going to call it Disvengers.
No.
And they're all going to come together.
Disvengers.
My point is that they started us with characters that we already knew a little bit about, and then they built foundation there, and now we're getting characters like Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel, characters that people don't necessarily know very well, but they've got that foundation of trust there. And if they'd started, like, Beauty and the Beast was quite strong, Cinderella was quite strong, Aladdin, probably a good outing, bloody The Lion King, great, but really weird decision to throw in Dumbo, a movie that has no talking characters with very little plot, as one of those foundation sort of movies.
Yeah.
I think Dumbo would have been fine if they released, if they had more of a following, it'd probably do better financially 5 years from now after we've had 3 popular Disney movies a year from them. But it was just a weird outing.
I just think they should stop reincarnating movies.
Just
Especially cartoons.
Just create new ones, right?
Yeah, start creating new ones. Especially cartoon to
Look, you're
real
right, but they
life,
won't.
because it just doesn't work.
And like
It's just weird. Like, cartoons get away with so much because they're cartoon.
Yeah.
As soon as you put it into this kind of weird reality thing
Yeah.
with actual human
Yeah,
faces.
because
You're
there's
like,
no way this film is going to do as well as Wreck-It Ralph or Lego Movie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like yeah.
Yeah.
This was a weird...
Yeah.
This was a weird
It's a weird
Oh,
decision from the
the other-
boardroom down.
The other thing that I didn't like was there wasn't a psychedelic trip sequence.
Yeah. Well, so the
Obviously,
elephant,
no riders were on acid, and I'm really unhappy
well,
about
the
that.
the bubble
Well,
elephant.
there were no riders.
Yeah, it was just Danny DeVito shouting things into a camera.
Hey, assholes!
Alan Arkin was in this movie, and he's another positive. He's the guy who was the banker. He's usually a comedian.
Oh, yeah,
No.
yeah.
He was great. He's only in it for a couple of minutes, but I was like, hey!
I think
and then
he's
he
like-
was really funny with
He just
everything
did
he
his
delivered.
classic himself, though.
Oh, yeah. But,
yeah,
you know, I'm happy to see him in anything. He's pretty
yeah,
funny.
yeah, fair.
Cool.
Sick. 1. John, let's do it. Is this microphone still on?
Mambo number 5. Thanks for listening to the Film Slice podcast. You can catch us again next week when we review Shazam. Look, if you enjoyed this, you can find us on YouTube and Instagram, and you can find us on iTunes, and you can find us on SoundCloud, and you can find us on Facebook. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening to the Film Slice podcast. That was our tasty treat about Dumbo. Next week's tasty treat is about Shazam. Catch us then. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and bloody what else? SoundCloud. So thank you for listening. We
Don't
really,
write in on SoundCloud.
we,
We don't.
look.
we
We
don't.
really appreciate you guys listening to this. Look forward to hearing your thoughts. If you have any opinions on Shazam, send them in. Anyway, see you next week. See you later.
Captain Marvel.